Hi all, welcome back to my channel. Glad to have you here. Today I would very much like to discuss specifically to whoever's watching who's currently trying to figure out what they want to do in life. I'm talking especially to sixth formers who perhaps are struggling with what they're gonna do post sixth form. Previously my first video on this channel was actually about different post-18 options that you can take, and today I'm going to talk about how you can settle on sort of a rough career path that you want to pursue. Like I said, this is very much advice for people who are in sixth form, who are trying to figure out their way, decide on what they want to study, whether they want to do an apprenticeship, etc. But this can apply to anyone in whatever stage of life you're in. So without further ado, let's get into it. Tip number one is to figure out what you're interested in. What are your passions in life? What do you really enjoy doing? And you want to think about this because ideally, if you're going to be doing a job for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life, ideally you want to be doing something that you genuinely love. So I would really encourage you to take a step back, sit down, and literally maybe just write a list of things that you enjoy. This can be subjects or different passions that you have outside of school. Make a list and then look into careers that relate to those interests. So for example, you could be into really florals and decorations and be very artisty. That could lead you into careers such as floristry, event planning, wedding planning. Finding a career that you genuinely enjoy and that you're genuinely passionate about is everybody's dream. And so I would definitely encourage you to really think about that. Think about what you like. Just don't just go on to something because of the money or because you're being pressured into it, which is what we will discuss later in this video. But really try and sit down and think about what you're interested in and try and see if you can find careers linked to those interests. Secondly, it's important to gain a good understanding of yourself and the skills that you have. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are you good at? What are you not good at? Now, I am a huge believer that skills can be developed. You're not just born with a certain amount of skills and then that's it. These are things that can be practiced, trained over time. However, it is worth noting that some skills are more aligned to some people than others. For example, if maybe you don't like looking at a bunch of numbers, you don't like looking at spreadsheets, sure, that's a skill that you can develop. You can develop really analytical mathematical skills, but if you don't enjoy doing that, then there's really no point in investing that much time into doing that or choosing a career where you have to deal with a lot of maths and analytics. Better, let's say for example, you're someone who really enjoys talking to people, chatting with people. Even though you may not be necessarily the life of the party or an extrovert, if that's what you enjoy doing, that is a skill that can be developed, and you can pursue a career that's very social or very people focused. So it's important to really evaluate yourself. Think about your skills and the skills that you are good at, the skills that you actually like harnessing, and try and develop in those skills areas in preparation for a career linked to those skills. Another piece of advice I would recommend to any sixth former who's currently exploring different careers for the future is to do work experience. Work experience is really important, not just to put on your CV or on your personal statement, but because you get to see in practice a career that you've only ever read in writing. And in reality, what you read in writing can be very, very different from what you do in practice. It also gives you a better idea of how long you're actually going to be working. So obviously for most jobs it's a standard 9 to 5. Now whilst you're at this work experience, it'll be important for you to think about, hey, can I sort of can I sit here for 8 hours and do this particular job? I remember I did a work experience in accounting, and whilst accounting did seem quite interesting to me, I very soon realized that I don't think I could sit and just do accounting for an extended period of my life, 8 hours, 5 days a week. That wasn't for me. And so work experience can be a really good way to get an understanding of the career that you want to get into, see the day to day compared to just the overview that you've read. And I would also say, don't just do work experience in perhaps fields that you want to go into, whilst you do want to focus on getting work experiences in careers that you actually want to like get into, be open to like exploring, be open to like finding out about new careers. Which leads me on to my next point, is that you should focus on networking with professionals. This can be done by networking with like school alumni, you know, messaging people on LinkedIn, attending networking events if you're really ambitious. The reason why networking with professionals in your field is really useful is not only because it has like similar benefits to like work experience where you get to like meet people, you get to hear about the day-to-day of their lives, but you also get to hear more about how they like broke through into that industry. You know, some industries are a lot more gatekept, and being able to hear from someone within the industry could offer really useful insights. It also means that it's lower commitment than doing work experience, which gives you more opportunities to explore a wide variety of careers. You can literally just message someone in LinkedIn in whatever industry you want and just ask them, oh, what do you do on the day to day? Do you enjoy your job? You know, what does this industry entail? What's it like working here? And you can get really useful insights which can inform your decision about what career you want to move forward in and what careers you want to learn more about through work experience. And furthermore, by networking, you're also creating a really good foundation for yourself in the future. This is something that you need to do continuously throughout your career, but it's especially important now because the more you network, the more connections you gain, the more variety, the more options you have for the future, the more opportunities you'll have access to. And that can allow you to pivot into different careers you never would have even like discovered or like would have even known about. I also think it's imperative that you master intrinsic motivation. No, wow, what is intrinsic motivation? It's basically motivation that you get from yourself, not from external factors. In deciding what career you want to take, it can come from like parents, it can come from your school, it can come from like a glamorized view of the outside social media of what the perfect career is for someone. And you really don't want to be you really don't want to be choosing your career based on intrinsic factor. Sorry, extrinsic factors, because you're not really being true to yourself. You might not enjoy that career, it might not align with what you want in life, and that will eventually lead to you pivoting anyway. So may as well focus on yourself, on what you want now, so that you have a better understanding on how to move forward. Now, things to think about when you're thinking about intrinsic motivation is, what do you find important in like a job or a career? Do you find like, is money the most important factor to you? You know, is lifestyle the most important factor to you? Is making an impact in your work the most important thing to you? Is freedom and having like the freedom to be able to do whatever you want the most important factor to you? These are all things that you want to think about for the future, so that you can get a better idea of what career, what job would suit that intrinsic motivation or that intrinsic goal that you have for your life. And then my extra little tidbit for you guys as well is to not put too much pressure on yourself. You could take in all my tips from my video and still not have a definite idea of what you want to do in your life or what job you want to pursue. And that is completely normal. You know, I'm speaking to sixth formers, particularly in this video. You know, you guys are 16, 17, 18. You know, you're not going to be able, it's completely like reasonable that you wouldn't be able to settle on one career for the rest of your life. It's also important to keep in mind that, you know, the average adult switches careers like 5 to 7 times in their life. Especially, it's becoming more common in our generation as well, for people to like pivot careers suddenly because they feel like something new. So definitely don't feel like you need to like make any definite decisions now. What I will say is that you really want to get a general idea of perhaps like what industry you want to enter to in your early 20s, so that that can help you choose, you know, subjects at university, choose what type of apprenticeship you want to do, choose whether you want to go to straight into work or into education or both, just to help you like be able to plan your post 18 exit plan. But I definitely will say that you guys shouldn't be afraid to like pivot if you go down a certain path that you thought you really wanted and then it just didn't end up being for you. I know people who have done that, who have gone to university and have quit and started an apprenticeship. I've known people who have done the opposite, started an apprenticeship, quit and went to university. I've known people who have pivoted from like the STEM fields and medicine into like finance and tech. So it definitely all depends on you. Don't feel too pressured, despite what again extrinsic pressures such as like parents, school might put on you. Take your time, try and figure out the general idea of where you want to go into. But like, you're young. Like what you decide now isn't going to apply to you 20 years down the line. Just try and get an idea for your own peace of mind of what you want to do, of what you want to explore. Let me use that terminology. What you want to explore, and just go down that route. Take a leap of faith and explore. You might come out of it thinking, oh, this really wasn't for me. Or you might come out of it thinking, oh, this is really for me. I'm really going to pursue this. But you'll never know if you don't think about all the factors that I've listed in this video. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Huge thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.